Well, good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're having a great day today, and good to be on with you here this afternoon. And we'll just wait for a few folks to come on. Good. Let's see who's up first today. Okay, here we go. Mary, you're up first. Charles, how are you? And Wendy, good afternoon. Nativity, nice to have you on. Valerie, Rosa, good afternoon, Rosa. We appreciate you guys. Carol, hello. Nick from our staff. Okay, a few folks are coming on. Louise, Cecile, Joanne from Timmins, Carrie from Nebraska, Suzanne, how are you? And Bridia, good afternoon. Wendy from Markham, Jeanette, Patricia, Serpa from Dowling, how are you, Serpa? Nellie, Janice, good to have you guys on. Suzanne, IT, Sandra, Bev, Chantal, bonjour, Julie and Kathy. Okay, Rochelle, Crowley, Texas. And from Huntsville, Larry and Brenda from British Columbia. Man, I think I'm going to murder this. Agnes Za. I don't know how to say that. Sherry, Pam. How are you, Pam? Jackie, Shireen, and Sandra, Espinola, Lorraine, Gail. Do you know what month it is, guys? Chantal, Olive, Kathy, good afternoon. Okay. Marcin. You guys are great. Do you know what month it is? November? Well, for some, I know that it's prostate cancer awareness month, I think. But you know what it is? It's diabetes awareness month. So I want to talk about that this afternoon. Diabetes Awareness Month. Now, if there's anything that we should be aware of, it's diabetes. And where it was once rare is now a full-blown epidemic. No doubt about that. Estimated, listen to this, over 40 million Americans are diagnosed officially with type 2 diabetes, but an estimated half the population is diabetic or pre-diabetic. Half the population is diabetic or pre-diabetic. And as my old guru, Dr. Kraft, not Kraft Dinner, but Dr. Kraft, who was the guru of all gurus on diabetes, would say, if you're a pre-diabetic, you are a diabetic. And so let's just, because it's the awareness month, and we're past halfway through the month, we should be talking about diabetes. To some extent, I talk about diabetes on every episode because it really is at the root of almost everything I talk about. Again, whether you are officially a diabetic or not. I'm actually going to refer to my book, The Reset, because I want to if you have a copy with you, you'll be able to actually open it up. And I want to discuss some hidden strong indicators that you are effectively, or people around you will do. I cut out for a second, at least on my end. Okay? Cut out on my end. I hope I'm back. Just someone let me know that they can hear me and see me now. Okay? Somebody give me a little, okay, the thumbs up. Give me a couple of thumbs up that everything is good. Okay, thank you very much, okay? Now listen, I don't know what happened there. I really don't, okay? Now, here's what I was going to say. Diabetes, okay, number one, is a problem of food. It's not a problem of genetics. I'm not talking about type 1 diabetes. I'm talking about type 2 diabetes, adult, what we call adult onset diabetes, okay? Type 1 is an autoimmune disorder. The pancreas is not working properly, and you're not creating enough insulin. That's autoimmune. Mind you, a lot of what we're going to say today applies big time to a type 1 diabetic. But let's talk about adult onset type 2 diabetes, okay? And your body, the human body, understands something that we don't understand. Your body understands something that most people don't understand. You know what your body understands? How toxic sugar is. Sugar is extremely toxic. It is pure poison for your body. Your body knows that. On the best, the worst days, you're never going to have more than a teaspoon in 5 liters. Okay? 1 teaspoon or less, really, of sugar in your bloodstream. Empty out your 5 liters of blood, and you will never have more than 1 teaspoon of sugar. Why is that? Think about it. Why is that? Your body is so intelligent. Your body is so fearfully and wonderfully made. Your body knows how toxic sugar is. So what does it do? You can have, I talked about this yesterday, drink a soda, 65 grams, meaning what, 9, 10, 11 teaspoons of sugar. And within 10 minutes, you're down to 1 teaspoon of that in your blood. The rest of it has been parked. And of course, I teach that all the time. The traffic cop who parks sugar, gets sugar, packs sugar into your muscles, into your liver, or when the liver is gummed up, full of sugar that's turned into fat. Your body makes fat cells. It has an unlimited ability in most people to make as many fat cells as it wants. Okay? So follow along with me here. Your body's very smart. It knows sugar is very toxic. It will do everything it can to keep you away from diabetes. Okay? That's a blanket statement I'm going to make. Your body will do everything it can to keep you away from diabetes. No matter what you eat. Your body is constantly keeping sugar out of your bloodstream because sugar is extremely toxic. Extremely toxic. Okay? So that's number one. Number two is that diabetes is strictly a food problem. It's not genetics. It's food. It's food choices. Nobody, listen to what I'm going to say, nobody ever got type 2 diabetes, ever, from eating from the animal kingdom and the plant kingdom. Okay? Nobody ever got diabetes from eating from the animal kingdom, eggs, meat, and cheese, and the plant kingdom, vegetables, even fruit. Okay? Nobody gets diabetes from that. You get diabetes when you insist on eating from the man-made kingdom. Bread, pasta, rice, cereals, sugar, sweets, pastries, juice, store-bought milk, alcohol. Okay? I call those, rice really isn't man-made, but the way we consume it, I put it in the man-made kingdom. The crappy carbs, I call them. That's how you get diabetes. You have a diabetic has an allergy. And when we talk, or at least I've scoured social media and the news networks in this Diabetes Awareness Month, and what you're hearing right now is not part of the mantra of big media, big pharma, big food. They talk about diabetes as, genetics and management. Let's manage your diabetes. You're a diabetic. You're always going to be a diabetic. And if your blood sugars are not above 7, if your A1C is not above 6, you're not really a diabetic. Well, really, you are. Really, you are. Now, coming back to point number one, because I really want to emphasize this today on this podcast here. A lot of people are diabetics and they don't know it, because I've often shared this. I used to share it with my patients, but I share it with you. Diabetes itself, again, medicine has classified it if your sugars are over a certain number, your fasting glucose or your A1C, then, you're a diabetic. But you effectively are a diabetic if. Okay? If. And I'm going to just read the list, because if you go to chapter 4 of my book, The Reset, I actually put a chart up there. And the question is asked, do you have insulin resistance? Okay? Are your cells resisting insulin? Another term that we like is high circulating insulin. Do you have high circulating insulin? You see, diabetes is not a problem per se of blood sugar. It's a problem of insulin and your cells resisting insulin. So what we put on that chart is whether we show check engine light if you got these symptoms, be careful. You're on your way to diabetes. But strong indicators are this, whether you get the official diagnosis or not. I just want to go over some strong indicator because remember what I said. Your body will do everything in its power to keep you away from diabetes, to keep you away from high blood sugars. Everything it can. It will throw the book at your body to keep you away from diabetes. And people are deceived by that because they say, oh, I talk to people every day. Oh, I'm not a diabetic. You really are, because you have insulin resistance. And when you have insulin resistance or high circulating insulin, you effectively are a diabetic. Because your body keeps your blood sugar still tightly regulated, doesn't mean you're not a diabetic. You need to be aware of these issues in order to change your mind, to change your diet. It's a diet thing. It's an allergy. It's carbs, bad carbs. That's what it is. So I'm just going to mention a few things here. And, you can, like belly fat. Okay? Belly fat. A lot of people have belly fat and they don't even think of diabetes per se. Oh, I'm not a diabetic. My blood sugar is still regulated, still normal. It's within normal limits. Your body is smart. It's going to pack on the fat in your belly, which is visceral fat, which is dangerous fat. It's always dangerous to have belly fat. And one of the indicators is if you have 30, don't fool yourself, measure yourself right at your belly button. 35 inches for a woman and 40 inches for a man. If you got a belly bigger than that, you are a diabetic because you have insulin resistance. What's that got to do? Remember, your sugar has to be stored, guys. It's going to be stored in your muscles. The bigger your muscles, the better it is. Because then you have more storage for sugar. Not that I'm encouraging you to eat it or drink it. I think it's the biggest problem in society today is people drinking their sugar. That is diabetes in a drink. I go to Starbucks or... Did you know I like coffee? Have you ever heard me talk about that? Oh, you haven't? Okay. Well, I do. I like coffee. So if I go to Starbucks or go to Tim's or go to, in the States, Dunkin' Donuts or whatever, I love coffee. But when I see those sugary drinks, when I see those lattes, I go, there's diabetes in a cup. There's diabetes in the cup. Crazy. And when people are obesity, think about this, and I've mentioned this to you before, but in terms of repetition, think about it. If you and I had left the planet in the 1970s, let's just say, Elon Musk was around in those days, and he said, you want to take a trip for 50 years? Want to leave planet Earth and let's go live on Mars or whatever? Make believe? Guys, if we left the planet in the 1970s and we came back today, what would we observe? What would our eyeballs see? Obesity like crazy. Guys, go to a public venue. Go to the mall. Go to a baseball game. Go to a concert. I wonder if we'll ever have one of those again. And you look at people, observe. Boy, people are much bigger today. And I'm not talking muscle. I'm talking obesity. Big. Someone that's obese is a diabetic. It's as simple as that. Oh, doc, no, my doctor said I'm not. I know, but your body will do everything it can to keep blood sugars regulated. It doesn't mean you're not a diabetic. You are. You have an allergy to carbohydrates. Don't deceive yourself. The worst deception is self-deception, guys. Obesity, belly fat. These are hidden. They're not even hidden. These are signs that you're a diabetic without maybe the diagnosis. Some people have the diagnosis already. High triglycerides. You got high triglycerides? High triglycerides will lower your HDL. That's what I look for, because I know you got trouble. You really are a diabetic. You got high triglycerides, and you're a diabetic. Don't argue. Don't fight it. Change it. Diabetes is food. Change your diet. Change your habits. What else is on that list there that I'm looking at? High blood pressure. High blood pressure. Do you know how many people, they get on the reset and their blood pressure normalizes? What are they saying today? 50% of the population, 50, have high blood pressure. You know how dangerous that is? But you see, your body would rather you have high blood pressure. Listen to what I'm going to say. Your body would rather you have high blood pressure than you have high blood sugar. You get it? Sugar is so toxic that your body would rather have high triglycerides, high blood pressure, low HDL, belly fat, obesity, than have diabetes, than have high sugar in your bloodstream. That's how toxic sugar is. Guys, this is revolutionary thinking. It's revolutionary because we miss the boat because we're so, I've said this a million times. I get tired of saying it, but I'm going to say it and say it and say it. The medicine has been hijacked by the lab. Hijacked by labs. They, I look at your blood work, it's normal. You know how many times I've heard that? Your blood sugar is, it's within a little bit high, but it's not bad. It's normal. We'll watch it. Instead of saying, I'm going to give you a kick in the rear end, and you better change your stinking diet. You're a carboholic. Doctors don't say it because they've been hijacked by the labs. Never mind the hijacking that occurs by the big pharma. They hijack medicine. They don't want to cure diabetes. They want to manage diabetes. Now, I'm not against insulin as a medication. I'm not. Here, we're going to give you insulin until you change your diet and you won't need insulin anymore because it's a food problem. But we don't hear that. It's not being mentioned. It's not being said because, again, and these things that I talk to you about now, high blood pressure, when's the last time, they blame salt for high blood pressure? I've been screaming for 50 years. Salt? What's that got to do with high blood pressure? The only time salt will give you high blood pressure is if you're dehydrated. If you're not drinking enough water, you can get high blood pressure because you got too much salt. If you're using the right salt, it's not salt that gives you high blood pressure. Dehydration can, but it's sugar. It's sugar. That piece of bread that you enjoy is going to be sugar in 5 nanoseconds. And Dr. Martin, it's whole wheat. Well, that's whole sugar in 5 seconds. It's 20 grain. I don't care if it's 100 grain. It's going to be sugar in 5 nanoseconds. But you see how intelligent your body is? It says, no, I'm not going to let blood sugar get high. But other things happen. There's other things that happen inside the body. Triglycerides go up. You know how dangerous triglycerides are for heart disease? Your body would rather you have a heart attack than you be a diabetic. Your body would rather you have, let me just read a couple of others, fatty liver. Your body would rather you have fatty liver than you be a diabetic. It'll pack that suitcase. It'll pack the Costco parking lot. It'll pack the minivan, your liver, with suitcase after suitcase. Fatty liver. Rather than you be a diabetic. Dowinger's hump. You ever look at people? And they got almost like a moon face and a Dowager. You know what a Dowinger's hump is? You know that it's like a humpback right around T1, just at the base of your neck. A big, like a fat deposit there. Your body would rather give you that than you be a diabetic. But you're still a diabetic. Not just numbers. You see the importance of that? To look, to understand these things? It's incredible. I mean, there's many more. Like men. Prostate. La prostata. Men, you're up several times at night. Your body would rather give you a prostate problem than give you a diabetic sugar problem. It'll take sugar out, but you know what makes your prostate grow? Insulin. Insulin. You want to shrink your prostate? Lay off the carbs. Your body would rather give you a prostate problem. Ladies, listen to what I'm going to say, hey. Your body would rather give you a bladder problem. That descending bladder than you be a diabetic. Yep. That's a blood sugar problem. Your body is screaming at you. Hello, change your diet. I'm trying to tell you. Without having real high blood sugar, you've got insulin resistance. And these are the signs. Men, ED, you know what ED is, men? Erectile dysfunction, men? You know what it is? You're a diabetic, but you just didn't know it. Because the first thing, insulin creates inflammation. But not only that, even sugars slightly elevated in your bloodstream, the first thing that they affect is capillaries. And that's what makes your prostate, men. And that's what makes, when you got erectile dysfunction, you really are a diabetic. They don't tell you that, but I'm telling you that. You can argue with me if you want. But I, number one, I'm not changing my mind. And number two, I'm right. See, your body would rather that almost anything happen to it rather than diabetes. So can you imagine how bad it is when you are effectively a diabetic and they have to put you on medication like metformin or insulin or, all these other meds? And remember, just to give you a little bit of history, the reset was first established by the Martin Clinic for my diabetic patients. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them were given the reset. 30 days, no carbohydrates. It was a theory that I had to reverse or put into remission diabetes. The reset is the best eating program for anyone, anywhere, at any time. But first of all, it is to fix insulin resistance. It is to fix high circulating insulin. So remember that statement. Your body would rather you have high blood pressure, have heart disease even, fatty liver, obesity, high triglycerides, low HDL. It would rather you have any of those things rather than you become a diabetic. In a sense. Isn't that incredible, guys? Now, tell me if you've heard that teaching anywhere else. And it's the solution is simple. Not easy, but it's simple. You have to understand the premise that food, carbs, sugars are at the root of diabetes. And that your body, number two, will do everything it can to keep you away from diabetes and will give you other conditions rather than diabetes, but it effectively is diabetes. I hope you followed that. I hope you followed that. So when you go out in the world, observe people. Have a look. When they tell you, oh, I'm on high blood pressure medication, you go in your head, because they might not ask you for your opinion. Okay. I often have to bite my tongue, I bite my tongue a lot in a day. I won't talk. I've got to do it because I got something to say, but I don't say it. Because somebody says, "Oh, by the way, doc, I'm on blood pressure medication, or I'm on statin drugs." I gotta bite. I'm biting my tongue because I want to tell them what the cause is. I want to tell them what to do. But I bite my tongue because I wasn't invited to speak to them. I don't talk to people, by the way, that don't listen. I don't. My staff, ask Nick or Jeanette or Brandy, or people that worked with me over the years. They say, "Well, why didn't you really tell that person how much trouble they were in?" I said, they weren't listening. They weren't listening. Why would I do that if you don't listen? Linda. Okay. There was many more. Maybe we'll do another session on it. Because it's very important, guys. You look at the root cause of almost anything today, almost any disease that you can think about comes from what we just talked about today. Your body keeping you away from diabetes. Your body hates sugar. I don't know how to convince you more than that, but your body hates it. Until you get addicted, it hates it. Your body's smart. Unreal. Okay, you know what tomorrow is? Question and Answer Friday. Okay? So you ready for that? Did you send in your questions? And by the way, we sent it out, I think today, the question and answer session that we had last week with Tony, featuring Tony Jr., Doc Jr., the brains of the operation, last Wednesday night. If you want to listen to that again, or if you weren't on with us live and you would like to get that, we have that available. You can listen to that. We had some great questions. Okay. So remember, if you haven't got your Christmas gifts yet, I don't know what better gift you can give a friend than to give them the reset. Okay? I was talking to Dr. McEwen at the University of Tennessee, and she was telling me she bought about 15 copies to give them out to her friends. I said, well, that is a great gift to give your friends. Okay? I mean, when you look at that chapter 4, that teaching in there is incredible. If I do say so myself. Okay. Tooting my horn a little bit there. Okay, guys, we love you dearly. Thanks for watching. Thanks for following us. If you're not a member of our private Facebook group, please join us. We want you to join that community. You guys are wonderful in there. Tony Jr. and I talk about it all the time. We just love that group. So many good things and great posts. And what a community, what a support group that is in there. But you're invited to come, and if you're not part of it, and you can certainly invite your friends and family. Okay, we love you guys. We'll talk to you soon.